Week 7, Part 2. This week you're going to continue working with your student. You should have almost completed your 20 hours by now. Please be sure that you are still documenting and observing your student for your final project. As I've said over and over, you need 10 hours of face-to-face time or Zoom time and 10 hours of prep and research on your timesheet because you will turn your timesheet in. There is no lab posting this week. Now let's look at Forum 7.2, which is a rough draft of your final project paper. The first portion of your final project involves administering, scoring, and analyzing a variety of developmentally appropriate assessments that you have previously given to your lab student. Now, you're going to analyze each of those assessments in a formal APA paper that reflects on these assessments and what it taught you about your lab student. The particular directions for the assessment and analysis portion of your final project are copied below. For the full directions, be sure to read the final project, which can be found in week 8. This week, you're just posting a rough draft of your paper to the forum for peer review. Be sure to provide at least one other peer formative feedback on their rough draft. Here are the guidelines. Number 1, use the student you selected for your phonics lab. 2, administer the spelling inventory and complete feature guide analysis, which you should have done in week 1 or 2. So that's done, as long as the top part is completely filled out. 3, collect developmentally appropriate assessments in addition to the spelling inventory from your student. These are the recommended assessments by grade level. First grade, you should have a letter ID assessment, hearing and recording sounds and words, at least one running record, the San Diego Quick Assessment of Word Reading, and writing samples. Grades 2 and 3, you should have hearing and recording sounds and words, at least one running record, San Diego Quick Assessment of Word Reading, and writing samples. 4th and 5th grade, you should have at least one running record, San Diego Quick Assessment of Word Reading, and writing samples. You are to score and analyze the assessments, which, if you have done that all along, everything is finished except, no, everything is finished. This is week 7. 5, organize your key findings from the assessments in a way that could easily be shared with a parent. That can be in the form of a chart. It can be in a spreadsheet, however you want to share that information with the parent. Analyze your findings in a paper based on our class work. What does the child have under control? Is there anything almost under control? What is a definite challenge? What teaching would benefit this student? Be specific in identifying a word feature and a lesson that this student needs to be taught. For example, using apostrophes, the schwa sound, diphthongs. It could be a feature on the spelling inventory. Words Their Way is a helpful resource. If you don't already own a copy of Words Their Way, I highly suggest having that in your professional library. Your paper needs to be written in APA style and should include a title page. You do not need to include an abstract. 2 references incorporated into the paper. Artifacts should be included at the end of your paper in a clearly ordered appendix. Please do not submit artifacts that are sideways or blurry. They need to be the best artifacts that you have and submitted that way. The ideas below may be included in your assessment and analysis paper. However, you are not limited to these ideas. The student's literacy strengths and needs, observation and literacy learning behaviors of the student, learning from the student artifacts collected and included. If you include an artifact, you should explain how it contributes to the student's learning or your own thinking. Important literacy interactions with the student. Changes the student has made over time this semester. Summarize your learning. What new thinking did you gain from observing this student? How have you grown professionally through this experience? And any other additional information you want to include. Now remember, this is a rough draft that is due this week. If you have questions about this, please ask me. Like I've said, I can't help you unless you ask. And I want you all to do well on this final project, because it not only is on Moodle, but it also is uploaded to Chalk and Wire. If you have questions, please ask. Thank you.